Bruce Naylor here. How you doing? Hopefully everybody's having a great weekend. And I decided to get out of the my home office / studio, and I've got to run a few errands, but I thought it'd be a great time to kind of make a little bit of a vlog and talk a little bit about YouTube, what's going on with the YouTube Red thing, and being a content creator, and what I like to do, why I enjoy doing what I do, and making videos, and a little bit about the channel in general, and just giving you some scenery. You can see we got some road construction going on here in town, which has been going on all bloody summer long. And my new favorite game is guess where the barrels are going to be today, because the highway people like to come around and then move them like every day in the morning. So you never know which lane you're supposed to be in. But anyhow, absolutely gorgeous day, and I thought it would be a good time to talk a little bit about YouTube and what's going on with all of that. So yeah, so I started making YouTube videos, or maybe didn't know, way back in 2008 is when I shot my first video, and I did it to promote my website, because I started a new business. It was called Frugal Brothers. It still is. Still have the business today, and sell software for several companies. I get manufacturers leads, and we have a whole marketing system. And so the idea behind the business is we're kind of a straight commission salespeople is what we are. And it saves the manufacturers money, and we make a profit, and it's all good. But the idea behind Frugal Brothers, or Frugal Tech, was to make videos talking about network security, put them up on the web, YouTube, and hopefully that would send traffic to my website. That was the game plan initially. But the more I did it, the more I found I had a passion for just talking about technology in general. And it's just something that I just started making all kinds of videos about different topics, things that I thought were interesting, wanted to share with different people. And the thing is that I never intended to be any kind of a business, or actually make money from YouTube in and of itself. I make money indirectly. And YouTube at the time, and I think it's still kind of true today, that the whole idea behind it was, I need to get out of this direct sun a little bit. The whole idea behind YouTube was for people, to be themselves, post videos. I don't think the intention was ever one where somebody would make a career out of it. So, YouTube obviously really exploded, and a matter of fact, as I understand, a lot of people, younger people, that 18 to 34 demographic, they really don't watch TV like that anymore, and YouTube has become their television. And YouTube gets hundreds of hours of video uploaded every minute. It's an incredible amount of data that they're handling up there, and they do a remarkable job for what they do. But there's been some people that's had a whole lot of success. Now the thing is that it became they started doing revenue sharing, advertising sharing with partners, and I think in order to get that, you had to have around 1,000 subscribers or something to your channel. Anyhow, I got in on all that, and that was good. And but I still never made any money off my stuff, and that's fine. But as more and more people got onto YouTube and started getting these large followings, they were making some pretty good money in AdSense. And now, in addition to that, as their channels grew in popularity, and more people, picked up on what they were doing, they got sponsorships from companies to promote their products and what they were doing, and so they made even more money off of YouTube, or indirectly through YouTube, and selling merchandise, sponsorships, AdSense. Some of these folks are making a hell of a lot of money. You know that PewDiePie, he made like $12 million in 2015, 2014. A lot of money. But I think principally, the concept was never so much about people actually making a living from YouTube as opposed to, doing this as a hobbyist and just sharing what they know and what they love, having a passion for creating videos and being creative. But nonetheless, it's become a viable business model for a lot of people, and that's great. But we're in a time where advertising has gotten so pervasive and so in your face, and so we're just so oversaturated with it on the internet that people's turn to ad blockers and that sort of thing. And also, the more people that use YouTube regularly or join YouTube, the more spread out it becomes, the less you make from Google AdSense and so forth. So you don't like advertisements. YouTube wants to make more money. The content creators really don't like advertisements, but they're sort of a necessary evil. So what to do? Anyhow, so now we're at this point in time where content creators are not making nearly as much revenue. YouTube still reports not to be profitable. And what's worse is now a lot of people are turning to ad blockers in droves, even making a bad situation even worse. So how do you improve that? Well, YouTube come out with YouTube Red. And YouTube Red, as some of you may or may not know, is for $10 a month you can watch YouTube without commercials. And I think you also get access to the YouTube Music service as well. And my personal opinion is I don't think it's going to go anywhere really fast. I just think it's going to fall pretty much flat on its face. YouTube has been a service that's been free ever since it began. And also, they're wanting to have more premium type content. So apparently YouTube is talking to some of the top tier content creators and giving them money and funds to make even better quality videos. That's what I understand anyway. But the point is that I think a lot of people look at YouTube for really short, funny little videos for entertainment or education, basically, right? To learn something. If you want to get a tutorial on how to use software, or if you want to relationship advice, or put a PC together, whatever, it's all there. Sometimes you watch videos, I don't know, stupid cat videos, people getting kicked in the nuts, whatever. But people, I think, has been kind of trained by YouTube for that sort of thing, that kind of entertainment. A lot of, amateur type video. And I just think that the YouTube business model now to say, look, let's take what has been essentially free all these years and see if people's willing to pay $10 a month to watch these videos and maybe a little bit of this premium type stuff in the music service for this $10. And I just don't see that going anywhere. If YouTube really wanted to, they could easily do more of a Patreon type of thing where if you wanted to contribute a few dollars a month on a monthly basis to your favorite content creator, then you could certainly do that. I think that's what they should be doing. I think they should be kicking Patreon's ass with this thing, because that's basically the idea behind Patreon, right? That you can support your favorite content creator. I don't think that the subscription service is going to work out. I think the name's horrible. In case you don't know, there's a porn site called RedTube, which has been, not that yours truly has ever been there. No, it's a different ballgame. I just don't think I just don't think that YouTube is going to get very far with the subscription service. Now, for content creators like myself, it doesn't mean much. I don't make really any money to speak of out there, so I think the content creators that are worried about losing revenue because of the subscription model, I think it's going to be pretty much business as usual. I just, like I said, I don't really see it going anywhere. It's not going to be a big deal. What I think is going to be a big deal, and I see this happening in no no short order, or I should say in short order, is I look for YouTube to really get serious about figuring out a way to stop ad blockers on YouTube. They're going to have to. If their whole model is based around advertising, they're going to have to. Why not? Google owns YouTube. I think the #1 browser out there is Chrome for all practical purposes. That's a Google product, so it shouldn't be a big trick for them to figure out how to disable the ad blockers, the Chrome extensions and all that. They'll figure out a way to do it, and I think they're going to come down on that one really, really, really fast. Also, they're going to be cracking down more and more on YouTubers who do their own sponsorships, because YouTube wants a cut of that money. And they need that, right? Because if you think about it, we all set up shop on YouTube's property. And we're not really, yeah, we are obviously providing the content that draws people there, but we're trying to find unique ways to get out of paying the rent, so to speak. You can't squat on somebody's apartment and turn around and sublet that to someone else. They're just not going to, it's not right. Yes, I know that content creators, add the value that brings people there. But if they're figuring out creative ways to get around YouTube's rules about how they make their income, I don't think that's a good thing. I think they're going to come down a lot harder on that, and rightfully so. Not that I have a problem with the content creator, selling merch or having a sponsorship. That's fine. That's fine. But I think YouTube's really going to start cracking down on that really, really hard. And so that's kind of what I see happening down the road. As far as my own channel is going, getting close to 10,000 subscribers, which is not that big of a deal, really. Considering how long I've done it and how many videos I've made. And I understand that. I get that. I guess my feelings on my channel is, #1, I appreciate everybody that subscribes to the channel. But you have to understand, I was never really all that serious with it after, a couple years of, I just put up videos willy-nilly, right? I never really put a lot of effort into it, and you put a lot of strategic planning into it or any of this stuff. I just didn't do that. And I just kind of did things willy-nilly, and that's fine. And that's one of the reasons why my channel never really took off, because, I didn't have a regular upload schedule, and the quality was all over the map. It's my own fault. And it was only a year and a half ago, something like that, I said, you know what, I really decided I want to grow this thing and see what I can do. And so I went from, a couple thousand subscribers a year and a half ago, roughly, to 9,644 as of this morning, the day of this recording. Nowhere near 100,000 subs. And the kind of stuff I talk about, I tend to do a lot of opinion op-ed pieces on YouTube, which most tech channels are basically a show and tell kind of thing. An adult version of show and tell. Here's a new power supply, here's a new PC case, here's a new video card. Here's, test results playing Crisis and all this, and here's some tests running Heaven, benchmarks, whatever. But it's basically adult show and tell, most tech channels. Some of them do a really great job, but I don't really have a lot of gear. In other words, because I'm such a small channel, I don't get a lot of stuff to review. I got to buy everything, and you know me, I'm kind of tight with a buck. I buy technology that I'm actually going to use. Occasionally I receive a review item, but I just do what I enjoy. Like I said, I don't expect to ever hit 100,000 subs. If I do, that's great. But I do enjoy making YouTube videos. I met a heck of a lot of great people on the channel, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I do enjoy the comments. I still got a couple businesses that I do. And so I do try to get back to people on comments whenever I can. Twitter is a great place to, I always monitor Twitter. I'm Frugal Tech on Twitter. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's great. But my personal brand, the Frugal Tech thing, I really regret doing that and should have used Bruce Naylor rather than the Frugal Tech thing in hindsight. But if you understand, and now it's really hard to undo. That's the problem. It's really, really, I gotta have to stick with this whole Frugal Tech thing, but it doesn't mean that I'm a cheap bastard, you know, and I'm always looking at the least expensive way of doing things. What I like to do is I like to find value in technology, whatever gives you the most bang for the buck, whatever you're attempting to do. That's generally what I do, and that's kind of the premise of the channel. And I have a business, a leaning towards business technology, and that's just me. And I'm going to continue to make the kind of videos that I feel good about making. And I mean, I look at the metrics and I know who's watching me, and I know that 92% of my audience is male. That's not a big surprise there. I know the bulk of my viewers fall somewhere between 25 and, I think, yeah, or like 25 to 34 in that age bracket, a big chunk of viewers on there. And I know that, you know, I'm an older guy, and a lot of people don't believe that someone my age keeps up or knows anything about technology, and that's fine too. I do. I can put a PC together. I have, you know, I mean, but there's millions of other tech channels out there putting PCs together. So I don't see where that would make me any different than anybody else. Okay, there's another guy building another PC. You know, that's why I like the op-ed stuff. Get behind why people are getting the technology they're getting. What's the reason Microsoft, you know, come out with Continuum? What is the thinking behind what these companies are doing? To me, that's interesting, but it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I get that. And occasionally I do a show and tell piece. That's what those are. Okay, it's just adult show and tell. You know, look at this phone. Here's what it does, how pretty it is, and here's what it costs, and here's what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Millions of those. I think for me, it's too late in the game to devote entirely show and tell type videos. So I like the op-ed stuff. I will do an occasional show and tell piece. All I can do is be my true, legitimate, and self, and be true to myself and to my viewers and to my audience. And if you like what I do, then subscribe to my channel. If you don't, I understand that too. You know, it's I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Just like nobody can make everybody happy, right? I mean, you put yourself out there, you create the best quality content you can, the best quality video you can, and you hope people watch it. But that's it. I'm going to keep making the op-ed pieces, occasional show and tell video. In fact, I've got, I think it's called Vivint. I got a power bank that I'm going to be doing a review on next week. And, you know, whenever it permits, when it makes sense and it's feasible, then I'll do a product review. But I'm more of a business productivity kind of guy, making money with computers. That's what I'm about. And so if you're interested in my channel, there you go. That kind of sums it up. And I'm just going to keep making videos that I love to do and I have a passion to do. And I appreciate each and every one of you that subscribe. Thanks.